Bought me a jet installation tool. Kind of just get in your head. Don't really need it right now. And I bought me this carburetor stand. Yeah, see, that's pretty cool, pretty neat. It's stepped here, so you can just set your carburetor on there. Raises the carburetor up, so it's cool. You can, you know, get to the linkage and everything. And leave the fuel line on there and stuff. So, I've seen a bunch of guys actually just make their own, and girls. Saw a girl do it too, which is cool, you know, but you just got to balance or weigh your options, you know. It's always money versus time. So it wasn't like this was super cheap, but did I really want to spend, you know, a few hours fabricating my own, coming up with something? I mean, you could have had just a plate with a bolt, maybe put a nut and another nut to kind of act as the stop, you know. Be pretty simple to do, but you know, I don't feel like driving to the hardware store, getting materials, cutting stuff. It's like, just bought it, done. So anyway, you do what you want to do. I went ahead and ponied up for that. It's pretty neat. I like it. All right, this is Dennis's 830 Holly. Said it ran perfectly. I'm gonna have to give it some more cleaning. It was on a sand rail, which is why it was so dirty on the outside. On his application, looks like the fuel lines were here. So this is the linkage side. So I don't really want that like that. I gotta have it on the passenger side. So I'm gonna flip the bowls. So that's not a big deal. And then the other thing is get these things off so the air cleaner will clear. They're pretty tall. I already just tried to get it out with some channel locks, kind of boogered that up. So I'm gonna have to replace that for them at some point. How many of those off? So in the meantime, the nice thing about the base plate is that you don't have to really take anything apart. You can just drop it in and soak it. So I'm gonna get some of the sand off with some carb cleaner, and then I'm gonna drop it in Chem Dip. Alright, I'm going to try to tap it, put a 1/4-20 screw in there. It's a pretty long one. And see if we can pull it out. Seemed like it would work size-wise. Hell yeah. Well, that worked. That's cool. got Ruben's Live playing. Well, I'm gonna put this carburetor back together. So I forgot to soak this last night, so I soaked it for a couple hours. I'm gonna run it, hot water over it to get all the chem dip off, and then I'm gonna hit it with carb cleaner, and then I'll put it back on the carburetor. Just going to show you how to prime your carb. So those tubes that I pulled out, those are the vents to the bowls. So you can sit here and prime it. I got a electronic fuel pump, so kind of don't really need to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'm just running the fuel pump to make sure that the seats, the needle seats for the floats are shutting off. It's not flooding the engine. Everything looks okay. Alright, so fire up.
Carburetor number 3. This is the one I got from Robert. Cleaned it all up, put it together. Looks okay. Little leak there, maybe. Quarters look good. Doesn't stumble like the other car. So I looked at the timing. It's about 5 degrees advanced. At idle initial, so I need to change that. I was thinking let it warm up, and I was watching 318 Will Run's video on timing and setting idle in the carburetor. Thought it was kind of cool, so I thought I'd give it a try. So we're basically gonna loosen up the distributor a little bit so that we can move it. And we're going to advance it. So on a big block, goes counterclockwise. So advancing it would be pulling the distributor this way. And then lower it at the carburetor. So basically keep advancing it. When you hear the RPMs pick up, then you're going to adjust the idle down on the carburetor. When you reach a point where it doesn't pick up any more RPM, then you know you've reached your point. You want to go back to that where you were, and then that's your set point. We'll see how it does. I'm going to drop the idle. I think it's about 12 degrees or so. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to look at the balancer and really mark mark it with like some white paint or something, so it's more distinctive. So I can really tell where the 0, 5, and 10 degrees are. So but I think it's about 12. See how that goes. No stumble. Nice. Idle's about 900 RPM too. Now that's in neutral, so probably should be. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we should be doing it in gear or not. I've heard people say that. 318 will run didn't do that, so I think it's probably okay. Man, yeah, all seems good. I almost forgot. So on the Hollies, when you set your idle and stuff, that changes all the relationship with the arms to the accelerator pumps. So whenever you adjust that, you got to go back and readjust these. I mean, it feels pretty good because it's just lightly touching it. So I think that one's okay. This one seems to be lightly touching too. I'm going to shorten it just a little bit. What you don't want is you don't want it pushing on the plunger arm, because whatever it's pushing on, that's a certain amount of fuel that you're giving up that you could be squirting into the engine. All right. That feels pretty good. All right, wasn't too far off, so I think we're good.